on the live, you can go ahead and say hi in the chat. Just as a reminder, if you switch from all panelists to all panelists and attendees, then everyone can see what you're saying. If you're on just all panelists, then only I can see what you're saying. So totally preference on your part, but just know that the chat function is there if you need it. Hi, Kristen. Hi, Annie. I know that we have a good amount of people joining the live today. It's been pretty steady. I love the lives. They're so much fun. Let's see. We have 2 Annies on now. Wonderful. How's everyone feeling today before we jump in? I have a full agenda again today. So we're going to do the same breath work practice that we did yesterday. We'll do like about 5 minutes of that, and then I'll take you straight into a meditation. And then after that, I'm going to be leading you through an exercise that is awesome. I'm really excited about it. And then after, I'll tell you guys a little bit about my monthly membership. So should be around the same time, aiming for 45 minutes. I'll get started in just another minute because I want to be super respectful of everyone's time. I know depending on what time zone you're on, it can be you're blocking off hours for work and whatnot for this, which means the world to me, by the way. Did anyone have a chance to dive into the journal prompt from yesterday, or did you have any like aha moments with the breath? Need to keep the chat over here. Caught myself holding, yeah. Catching yourself holding your breath. It's a definitely, if you find yourself catching or holding your breath, that's a very normal thing to do, but all of the power is in the awareness around it, really. And in being able to notice it, because in the moments that you notice it and you can start to focus on returning to taking those long, elongated, slower breaths, then that's when you activate your parasympathetic response. So I actually had one of my sisters text me last night and she's like, she did it at night, but she was like, I keep yawning in this breathwork practice. Is that normal? And I was like, well, yeah, it's activating your relaxation response. And then on top of that, a lot of the times that you'll find, like with things like yawns and even sneezes and things like that, burps, you're releasing energy. So she was probably had a lot of energy in her. And it was like the moment she activated her relaxation response, it was like, oh, and the energy gets released a lot through yawn. So I thought that that was cool to share. Also want to share one more thing before we actually jump into the meditation. And it was, hi Bridget, it was based on a conversation I had last night with someone doing the challenge. And she was just talking about how she couldn't stay completely focused and wasn't getting super deep into the meditations and would feel her mind start to wander. So I do want to make a point that no matter how long you're practicing, that's something that's just part of the meditation process. Even I feel that way sometimes, and it never necessarily goes away. But one thing that's really helpful to remember that I learned in my training, and I was like, whoa, is you start to feel the benefits and receive the benefits of meditation within 30 to 45 seconds of the practice, because that's how long it takes for your parasympathetic response to activate and be stimulated. And then on top of that, when you think about your mind wandering, every time your mind wanders and then you catch it and you bring yourself back, every single time you do that, you reactivate your parasympathetic response, or that like I am safe, relaxed response, which is really cool to think about, because that kind of shows us that the quote unquote not as deep meditations where your mind will not stop wandering and like you can't get into it are just as helpful as the ones that you're super deep into it, because you're actually like re-stimulating that relaxation response over and over and over. And the way to think about that is your body's releasing stress every time you do that. So the way I kind of think about it is that I'm like, if I have a really deep meditation, obviously I love that. But then on the days I don't, I used to, when I was first starting out with this stuff, I would get so annoyed. And then now when that happens, I'm like, clearly I had like a lot of energy and, you know, things, stress within me that I had to release. So it's more of a stress release than anything else. So I did want to share that. But with that being said, let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. Hi, Chantel. Lots of people on the live today. I think I have one more joining, and it might be her birthday. It is her birthday. I don't know if she's joining the live, so I'm excited for that. All right. We can go ahead and get started. Is there anyone on the live? I'm going to quickly explain the breathwork practice that we did yesterday, just in case someone on the live hasn't had a chance to watch yesterday. But the breathing technique that we learned yesterday is very simple, but also very effective. It's one of the most studied forms in terms of activating your relaxation response. So I will cue you. We'll probably do it for about 5 minutes. But during those 5 minutes, I just want you to focus on taking full body, elongated, slow breaths to the count of 5, which I'll cue. So we'll breathe in for 5. Hold at the top of the breath with all of the air within you for 5. Exhale for 5. Hold at the bottom of the breath with no air inside of you for 5 seconds. I think everyone that's on here has watched day 2, but just wanted to start with that. And let's get started. So you guys can go ahead and close your eyes. Beginning to get centered in the space, we'll start out with equal ratio breathing today. And then I will take you straight into the meditation. Let's start with one cleansing breath, taking your largest inhale of the day. And open mouth exhale to release. And you can begin to breathe in for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the breath, or hold at the top. Exhale for 5, 3, 2, hold at the bottom without any air. Breathing in again for 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the top. Releasing with the exhale. Holding at the bottom of your breath. Inhaling again through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the top. Exhaling for 5. Hold at the bottom. Inhaling for 5, feeling the air move through your body. Holding at the top, feeling all of the support of the air within your body. Exhaling for 5, creating space. Holding at the bottom. Inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the top of the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, holding at the bottom for 5, feeling all of the space created within you. Inhaling for 5, holding at the top, exhaling for 5, holding at the bottom. Inhale for 5, feeling the air move up through the tummy, the rib cage, and then the chest, holding at the top. Exhaling to release for 5. Holding at the bottom of the breath. Returning to your inhale for 5. Holding at the top, feeling the stillness, feeling the support of the air. Exhaling for 5. Holding at the bottom, knowing that you are safe. Inhaling for 5. Holding at the top for 5. Exhaling for 5, feeling even more relaxed in the body. Holding at the bottom for 5, 4, 3, 2. Do one more round. Inhaling for 5. Holding at the top. Filling up on joy. Exhaling for 5. Holding at the bottom for 5. Biggest inhale of the day. Exhale through your nose. Allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm in this moment. Feeling the support of your own breath. Imagining your breath as if it were your prana, your unique energy, universal energy that exists within you, running through your body now. And as you've opened up all of your lung capacity, feeling that energy, feeling that breath, almost as if it were starting within your toes, slowly rising all the way up to the crown of your head. And as the breath, as the energy, as your prana reaches the crown of your head, starting to place all of your focus on that area of your body, on your own mind. Pouring gratitude over your mind right now for all that it does for you. Your brain helps you operate throughout the day. It helps you solve complex decisions and problems. Supports you with logic. You have a memory because of your mind. Being able to hold on to all the special moments in your past. Your brain allows you to facilitate emotional responses. Allows you to get by every single day, more than get by. Responsible for so many little things that you do every single day, from anything from driving to work to recalling your favorite memory by a song playing, to facing challenges and being able to sort through them. Taking a moment just to pour so much gratitude over your brain, your mind, the entire crown of your head. Loving on your mind even more. Falling in love with your own mind even more for all that it does for you. How beautiful it is. Taking a deep breath into that. And release. Letting go of your attention on the mind and shifting your focus to your eyes. How much your eyes do for you every single day. And what would life be like without your ability to see all the things that you see? And can you be so obsessed with the fact that you get to witness life every day in full color, in all of its brilliance? Appreciating and loving your eyes right now. They allow you to see texts that come through on your phone. They allow you to see the beauty in nature. allowing you to have a tangible and visible view of the people that you love so much. How much joy does your eyesight bring you? Appreciating the small, small things even more. Being able to see flowers just when you're out for a walk. To being able to see the smile on someone's face. Taking a deep breath into that. And release. Letting go your attention and your focus on your eyes and shifting your attention to your nose. To your sense of smell. And how special this is. The smell of your favorite scent, maybe your favorite perfume, your favorite flowers, or even the scent of your favorite meal cooking. And can you start to savor this even more in this moment? Maybe shifting your focus on a smell that you love so much. Feeling the gratitude in your own body for this. And how much of a gift it is to have just your nose. Taking a deep breath into that. And release. Letting go of your focus around your nose and shifting that to your mouth. The vessel for your throat chakra, where your voice is born, where you have the ability to taste things. Tuning into how the inside of your mouth feels right now. Maybe it's the sensation of your tongue resting upon the roof of your mouth. Maybe you can taste coffee or tea still. Maybe you're so still right now that you can actually feel the saliva in your mouth more than you've witnessed before. Pouring so much gratitude over all the things that your mouth does for you, your sense of taste, where your voice is born. And just how magical it is that when your mouth opens, you have the ability to speak. Feeling so grateful for the ability to use your voice every day. How can you love this part of you even more? Taking a deep breath into that and release. Letting go of your attention over your mouth and shifting your focus to your heart. Seeing this is the place that you're able to form connections with yourself and with other people. And that this is where love is born. The love you have for yourself, the love that you receive from other people, and the love that you give to others. And how much of a gift it is to be able to feel that connection and feel that love. Literally driving everything in life. driving your passion, driving your purpose, driving the reason why you get up in the morning. And that every human on earth has this heart. And we're all connected through it. We're connected to source through it too. Almost seeing yourself like wash your heart right now with gratitude. Like, thank you so much. The heartbeat that shows up for you every single day. Loving that part of you. Maybe even saying like, thank you, heart, for all that you do. Supporting you and exercise, your movement every day, showing up for you in so many ways, both on a scientific level and on a spiritual or a mystical level. Taking a deep breath into that and release, letting go of your focus on the heart and moving your focus to your arms, to your hands. And taking a moment to tune into all that this does for you, these parts of you. Your arms give you the ability to give a hug to people. Who else has missed hugs this past year? Little things like that. Your ability to hold on to something, to perform your daily tasks. Your ability to type, your ability to brush your own hair, your ability to cook your meals, all of it. Your ability to shake someone's hand, again, to give them a hug, all of this. And can you love your arms? Can you love your hands even more than you ever have before? Loving this part of you so, so much. Taking a deep breath into that. Exhaling to release, letting go of your attention, your focus on your arms, and bringing your attention towards your stomach area, your gut. And how this part of you is able to digest the things that you eat every day and drink every day. This part of you is so connected to your mind, even your intuition, and how much it tells you just by your stomach dropping or just by having a funny feeling in your gut. And can you love all that your stomach does for you? How much do we pour love over our stomachs? It's being shown to be like, thank you again for all that you do. Like, from a communication standpoint on your intuition, sometimes manifesting in that area to really just supporting you in your own digestion, your ability to release toxins. Taking a deep breath into that and letting go of your focus on this area of your body and moving down to your legs, to your ankles, to your feet. How much of a gift it is to be able to walk around every day, to be able to stand up on your own, to be able to put your feet in the grass or the sand, feeling how grounded you are in the earth, how much your legs do for you. They're walking, running, movement, supporting you in even getting around to take care of the people in your life. And can you pour even more love and gratitude all over your legs right now? Taking a deep breath into that and release. Now taking a moment just to zoom out here. Pouring love over your entire body in its physical form. And as you zoom out, taking time to admire all parts of you, the intangible parts of you, the invisible parts of you. Maybe it's your sense of humor, your kindness, the fact that you never give up. Maybe it's your laugh or your ability for people to open up to you, or your emotions because they let you know what's going on with you. Maybe you're the life of the party. Whatever it is about you, I want you to pick a few things right now and just tune in. The last few moments of this meditation, just pouring love all over now the invisible parts of you too. We just went through all the physical. I want you to extend love, extend gratitude, zoom out for a moment and just admire yourself. Become obsessed with every part of you. And picking out just a few things that you can't physically see, but that are there, that make you you, that you want to love on right now. Starting to visualize yourself as a tree. Knowing whatever type of tree or visual comes to you is perfect. Just feeling grounded in the earth. How supported you are. All of your strength, your roots. Grounding in all of the gratitude and the energy, the appreciation, the love, the cherishing that you just cultivated in this moment for you. The you that you are in this form. Taking a final deep breath into that and release. And you can start to allow your breath to become a little bit heavier. Starting to wake up your body. And maybe if it feels good to you, taking any movements that feel good, whether it be stretches or slight movements in the ankles or the wrists. Maybe it's just starting to move your fingertips. And when you're ready, you can start to open your eyes at your own timing and come back to the present moment. And when you guys are back with me, let me know how you're feeling, how you enjoyed that meditation and breathwork practice. Since we learned the breathwork practice yesterday for the first time, it was a little bit longer what we did today. We did it for a full 5 minutes. And I did that purposely because equal ratio breathing is something that when you just practice it for only 5 minutes, you really start to feel those benefits. So I'm curious if anyone felt a little bit more relaxed in their meditation or if they were able to even sink in deeper at all. I'd love to hear from anyone. And we had some others join, so welcome, whoever hopped in during the meditation. Do you guys feel extra lovey towards yourself? Yeah, great question. It was hard to do the increments of 5 seconds. Does that get easier with time? Yeah, I talked about this a little bit. So when I first started, I definitely, and I knew that before I started breathwork, was not using my full lung capacity. And when I got my certification, like my teacher would cue us for 5 seconds, and I could not do 5 seconds. I couldn't. And now I'm like 5 seconds is nothing. So breath work is something that when you're consistent with it, you are going to start to notice like your own lung capacity actually increases. So my response is definitely yes, it gets easier with time. And what I recommend doing is starting with something like 3 seconds, even, and then over time gradually increasing this. Because of course you could do it longer than 5 seconds. I usually do 5 seconds, 3 to 5 when I'm walking people that have not done breath work before through this type of thing. But for you, I'd recommend starting with 3 seconds. And then the more you get comfortable with it, maybe going up to 4 and then to 5. But it's truly amazing how you can actually like feel your own lung capacity increasing. And why that's so important, again, is to going back to all the benefits that we get from it. So when we're able to elongate even more, when we're able to slow down even more, then really that's when we allow and we train our bodies to start to operate by using the full lung capacity. When our bodies operate that way, then we're always telling our bodies that we're safe. We're telling our subconscious that we're safe. And it's interesting because on the other side of this, you can be like, yeah, I'm good. But meanwhile, your body's like, danger. And I'm not saying this to scare you, but it's like if you're not really breathing, that, and you might think mentally I'm fine, but then your body might be actually be contracting and be tense. So that's a lot of the times when we experience general stress and anxiety, we feel it in our body, right? And we're like, I think I'm fine, but like I feel like off. That's why. So that's why breath work is so powerful, because in the moments that you start to practice it consistently, you start to automate it. It starts to become your natural breathing pattern. And then you're able to face challenges a lot easier. Although there will always be challenges, but a lot easier. And your body will constantly be telling yourself, for the most part, that like my natural state is like, I'm okay, I'm safe. And it's all driven by what's going on in your body. And this goes back to, I want to drive this home a little bit more before we get into the exercise, but for your nerve fibers, 80% of them are sensory, meaning that it goes by feeling and by the body rather than the actual mind. So what that tells us is that how you feel in your body and your body's response to things even has a more profound impact on your subconscious than mindset work does, like affirmations, because I know you guys have felt this before, but you can tell yourself like, I am a manifesting magnet, I am powerful, all this stuff. But then sometimes your mind's like, nope, no, you aren't, right? So it's really important to be able to use our body in creating those feelings. And to be able to create those feelings, we need to train our bodies to be in a relaxed and an open state. And one way that we can get to that is through breath work. Let's see. I spent a good amount of time yesterday practicing the 5 seconds. I'm almost able to hit 5 seconds. I feel like I get a little high from it. Me too. It's amazing. On Saturday, I was doing breath work for like 30 minutes. We were going to a spin class. And honestly, I was like, I think I just had an out of body experience. I can't drive. Like I felt like I was high too. I've been super anxious because of work. The breath work totally helps. Yes, I do that. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I do breath work before meetings and stuff like that too, especially when I present, because it allows me to be so much more confident and less stressed. And then also, other quick tip, if you're having trouble doing 5 seconds, I recommend trying to think about holding 2 seconds in the belly, 2 seconds in the rib cage, and then 2 seconds in the chest. And I know that that's 6 seconds, but I'm sure you get what I'm getting at. So you can really think about sectioning it off. That always has helped me a lot. And then just seeing if you can slow down even further. A lot of us are quick breathers, but it's like, can you actually be like, right? So the key to this is really in being able to slow down the breath and to utilize the 3 sections. So even thinking about slowing it down in general, but then also 2 seconds in the belly, 2 seconds in the rib cage, 2 seconds in the chest. I also used the 5 seconds breath work before bed last night and had such good sleep. Yes, I do it sometimes before bed too. In this one, equal ratio, super accessible. That's why I taught it for this free challenge in general. But it's one that you can do when you're laying down too, which is really cool. So it's super helpful before going to bed. I love that. Great idea. All right, you guys ready to go through an exercise? Let's do it. Okay. I'm going to share screen. We're not on this anymore. Okay, cool. So this one is an exercise. So this is a lot of like what my workshops entail, is we always do a combination of really meditation, breath work, journaling, but then like we go into, it's so much more than that. I'm trying to like put it into words why it is, but you'll see after this, is because a lot of the times I'll teach like practices and exercises like this that I normally reserve for some of my like paid offers and whatnot. But this one is really special. I've never taught it before, so I'm super excited. I did this myself over the weekend. And then I also had a few people that had submitted things, some of their desires and things like that. So I'm going to use 2 examples from those submissions that I got to walk you guys through this. But let me explain it first, because then you can start doing it on yourself while I'm explaining it. Or if you just want to like take in everything I'm saying and then come back to it, you can do that too. So whatever works perfect. So this is all about kind of what I was just talking about, where when it comes to our desires, it's always backed with how we want to feel. And I know I talk about this a lot. So if you've been coming to my workshops and whatnot, you've probably heard me say this, but a lot of it is like, sometimes it's not the actual desire, it's the feeling that we're chasing. So easy way to explain this is, if you want say you like want a new car or a new house or a new job, like chances are like you're chasing more the feeling of like abundance and luxury and things like that. So always getting behind the feeling of it. Or maybe you want a raise at work, but it's like, do you really want to raise at work, or do you really want more money, right? Because you probably wouldn't care if you got a raise at work or won the lottery. It's all the same. So it's really just like trying to get crystal clear on your desires, but more importantly, how you expect to feel. And going back to why the feeling part is so, so important, and feel free to chime in if you guys have experienced this, but I know that I have, is sometimes when you want something and like really bad, and you're like, one of 2 things. So one is, it's like, okay, I'm going to like affirm, say all the affirmations, all the mantras in the world, which are still important, but then it's like, that's it. And then it's like, your mind's not believing it, right? And sometimes it's hard to get our minds behind things. Sometimes it's hard for us to believe it. So while we could say like, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow, if you're not believing it, then what is it doing? So a way to train your body to believe, and a way to really get behind this a little bit more, is to focus on the feeling. Because like I mentioned, when it comes to calling in our desires and really being able to achieve things in life, when it comes to your nerve fibers on a scientific level, again, 80% of them are sensory. So that just goes to show how important it is the way that you feel. And sometimes you'll do exercises like these and you'll be like, okay, so I want to feel confident. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel safe. I want to feel at ease. I want to feel relaxed. And then you're like, Nora, I've never felt that before. I've never gotten a raise like that. So I don't know how it feels. So how am I supposed to feel how it feels when I've never felt it, right? And that brings me to the last part of this exercise, is the most helpful thing that you can do is actually create experiences for yourself to generate those feelings. So let me give you an example and walk through this. Let me know if you have questions. I hope I'm explaining this well. But I'm actually just going to start with one of the examples that I had to help you show this. So I had someone tell me that, I meditated on it today, so I need to remember everything I wrote down, but she wants to buy a home and live closer to her family. So that's her desire. Like, that's what she wants. She really wants to move closer to her family, and she really wants to buy a house. So I don't know for sure, but I would assume some of the feelings behind that are feeling rooted, feeling comfortable, feeling at home, safe, maybe expansive in her home, maybe really like connected to where she is. And but she doesn't have a home, right? She's not close to her, or she has a home. She hasn't bought a house yet, and she's not close to her family. So she's probably like, well, how do I feel those feelings if they're over there and I'm not there yet? So one thing that she can do in this is, how can I create this now? So it's all about creating the experiences that are going to generate those same feelings that you can do now, like this week, like in the next 7 days, right? So things that I wrote down for her was like, why not go and see houses and tour houses? even if you don't have the money to buy them right now, even if you're not planning on buying for another 6 months to a year, still going in those houses and, you know, taking and being in that energy of looking at houses and these are all the things I want and this is so exciting and I'm excited for this in my backyard and this is a non-negotiable to me. You're creating all of those feelings. You're creating the same excitement that you are going to feel when you actually purchase the house. And your subconscious doesn't know the difference between when you're completely like making something up in your head and dreaming and visualizing versus when it's happening in reality, right? So that's why it's so powerful. So it's like maybe she doesn't have the money right now, and that might not be true. I don't know the full story, obviously. But let's say she doesn't, or let's say it's like, oh, the market's crazy, so we're not going to touch anything for a year. But why not go and still look at all of the houses? We actually went and looked at a house 2 weeks ago, and we decided like probably not the right time to buy. But I literally said to Schmidt, I was like, why don't we just like go walk around and like go to all these open houses that are bomb ass houses and like, you know what I mean? Like taking that energy, like really be in it, because that's going to generate all the feelings in your body. And that's the type of feeling that you want to cultivate. So you know how it feels. And so you can tap into that and become aligned with that version of you that feels that way in order to attract those things. That makes sense. So let me know if that resonates with you guys and if you're understanding or if you have any questions. And then just another thing, like this was kind of like a two-part thing, being closer to her family. Well, it's like, okay, like let's make it really real then. Can you go and visit your family? And this is obviously only if it's accessible to her with COVID related things and whatnot, or depending on where her family lives. But maybe it's going and visiting her family and acting like she's not just a visitor. She lives there. And then also maybe going to see houses, even if she's not planning on buying anytime soon, or maybe she's not moving for 2 years, but being able to go there and even look at houses in that area, like how powerful that would be. How much closer could you get to that feeling than going and doing that? So that is something that really came for that person in particular. And then also like, if that's not possible, like even like your day to day, like having like a vision board of what that looks like, what that's going to feel like, it's a lot more helpful if you're going and putting yourself in the physical energy, like the actual touring of the house and like the visiting of the family and acting like I'm not just visiting, I live here. Like all of that, again, you're not faking it because your subconscious doesn't know when that's why when you're dreaming, it feels so real in your dream. You're not always like, oh, I'm dreaming, I'm just inside this dream. Like, no, it feels really real. So just knowing that the power of feeling is so powerful, and that a way to get behind the feeling is to create experiences now that are really going to generate those feelings, because it all goes back to where you're like, I want to feel abundant, I want to feel confident, but if I haven't felt that way, then how do I feel it? But you feel it by creating those experiences for yourself to purposely generate those feelings. And then also, let me take a sip of water, I'm thirsty. With this one too, one thing that came to her, or came for me to tell her, she's not on the live, but when she watches the recording, is a lot of the times when we're really focused on like, I'll be happy when, and I'm not saying this is true for her, but I know that this is a common thing, I'll be happy when, it actually kind of creates blocks to what we want, because we need to feel joyful and good in order to be, if we want to quickly manifest things and call things into our life. So one question that could be really helpful for her to ask herself every day when she wakes up is like, what things am I going to miss one day about my current reality? What things am I going to miss one day about my current reality? And how much deeper of an appreciation that gives you, because you can be obsessed with the place that you're in, and and I recommend doing this, do everything you can to love your current state, because being in that energy is actually going to allow you to attract things a lot more quickly and like speed up timelines of your life. So when we're always just focused on like, when's it coming, when's it coming, when's it coming, and we're not content, then we're actually creating a little bit of resistance. Yeah? All right. So that was the first example. Let me quickly show you guys the steps again, and then I'm going to explain the second example. If you have questions on this though, please do ask, because for some reason it's not letting me share. Because I want to make sure that you're able to use this exercise. Okay. So it's what I desire, how I expect to feel, how can I create this now? How am I doing on timing? All right, cool. I'm going to go through one more example. I literally don't know what just happened. Oh, that was good though. We'll take it as a sign. I don't know where that sound came from. Anywho, so then second example I want to walk through was another example that I love that someone asked me, because it's not like something tangible like a house. Hers was more that she overall wants to find who she is and from a place of authenticity. So from her experience, and let me know if you guys can relate, because I was like, yeah, I know, I think we've all felt that. But she sorry, I don't know if you can hear the noise outside, but garbage truck. But she felt like growing up, her sister, her mom were type A, and she always had to be like kind of like perfect cookie cutter to fit in, and essentially to like gain love and approval from other people. And I know that we've all felt that, where it's like we feel like we need to have it all together and be like, you know, eating healthy, working out, taking care of the kids, being the best wife, being the best partner, all of the things. And then we can be loved, and then we can feel love, and then we can feel good about ourselves. And with her sister and her mom maybe being a little bit type A, and with her being more emotional and more silly and whatnot, not fitting that mold and feeling like that sense of belonging. So it's all about getting back to herself and feeling in her authenticity. So I would assume that, so her desire essentially is like to feel in line with who she is, in line with her purpose, in line with who she is on a soul level, in her authenticity, and enough at the end of the day, worthy at the end of the day, just as she is, like as her. So it's all about finding herself and getting back to that. And that's something that's so, so, so unbelievably common. I felt this too in my life for sure. So I would assume the feelings going along with that are like worthiness, feeling enough, feeling loved, feeling genuine, feeling authentic, feeling cherished, peace, calm, inner peace, like fulfilled, and experiences that she can do to start to cultivate this. What I got for her was simply like creating stillness for yourself. So this is why a meditation practice and things like that daily, and I know that everyone's busy, but as much as you can, whether it's 10 minutes or 45 minutes, creating that stillness for yourself, because that's when you find yourself most, is when you're alone, because you don't have distractions from the outside world. You're not managing your own energy and someone else's energy, and you have time to just be, to dive in. So even things like journaling, asking yourself questions, and just being with yourself, creating experiences where you are in stillness, whether that's sitting in meditation for 5 minutes, or whether that's like getting a babysitter, or if you have kids, or just taking 4 hours during the day to like literally go explore on your own and just do whatever the hell you want, whatever Nora wants. So that was one thing that came up. And then also intuitive decision making. So I've given this exercise in my workshops before, but really trying to go for like, if you're someone that like feels like you ask for people's opinions a lot and you want to just like really focus on getting back to yourself, taking like 5 days to just the small things in life, to not ask anyone else's opinion and just tune in and to make a quick decision. And of course, if you have like something big that happens, feel free to like break from this. But I think you know what I'm getting at, where sometimes we like ask people's opinions on every small little thing, and making it a game. Like, can I go 5 seconds just being like, what does Nora want today? I don't care what this person thinks I should eat or what they suggest. What do I want? Like little things like that. Should I go to that party or should I not? Tune in. I'm going or I'm not going, So really just trying to get back to listening to your own intuition and to yourself on a small scale, because this stuff's like a muscle. It's going to be really hard to tune in for large decisions in your life if you're not already used to using it on a small scale. So like kind of thinking about this like it's a muscle. And then also, so two things that came up for you on top of this was even like one thing that you could do is like create a ceremony for yourself for just like an hour. Buy yourself flowers, like play music, put on a candle, and the unique parts of you. So you mentioned for the person that submitted this question, she had mentioned that she's more emotional and messy, I think were the words that she used. And I thought it was worth exploring, like, what if I wasn't this way? So, what if I wasn't emotional? I might not end up with the same partner. Like, I might not have the same friends. I might not have that best friend. I don't know if we would be best friends if I wasn't emotional. So, like, really turning it into, like, holy shit, what if I wasn't that way, though? All of the unique parts of you that make you you, that make you feel like maybe you don't fit in, like, what if you didn't have them? And kind of turning into, like, I might not have a lot of things I really love in life if I didn't have this part of me, right? So, really tuning into that. And then I also had a beautiful vision actually of like a cage and a bird flying out of it. And with that, what I kept seeing is like to pour love on past versions of yourself, because you didn't know any better when when we're brought up as children and maybe we take on things from other people and they don't do it on purpose. I really believe that. But you were doing the best you can, right? Or you got the best you could at the time. You always are. And it's like sometimes it's hard for us to love past versions of ourselves that we're not like proud of, but also just being able to acknowledge like you did the best you could. And in the moments that you're like, I'm proud of that person for everything that they've been through, then it's only then that you like, this is where I saw the vision of the bird flying out of the cage. It's like you free that person so that person can leave you. That parts of you that you want to let go of can actually be freed from you because you're taking time to like acknowledge, like, I am freeing you. Like, I love you. I know that you just did the best that you could. And with that, you actually release those parts of you. Good. I'm glad that this is hitting home. So yes, that visual, hold on to it. I literally wrote down become obsessed with past versions of yourself. Love that person so you can finally set that person free. So anytime you're like, oh, I hated that I did that in the past. It's so annoying. I can't believe that happened. I can't believe I'm like this and yada, yada, yada. It's like, how can you set that person free? Because you're moving into something else. That's why you're feeling the resistance and like because you're growing, but you can't grow fully if you don't let that person go with love. Like you just have to like free them, right? So that was so special. I'm so happy that I got that question too. It was all so perfect because I got but these are the only two questions or topics that I got, and they were both so different. So it helped me so much. So as you guys go through this on your own, you know where to find me, but I really would love for you to try this on your own. And it's something that is like seriously gold. Is just creating those experiences for yourself that are going to generate the feelings, because you can always tell yourself, I feel this way, but if you don't feel that way, like what is it doing, right? So really making sure that you're taking time to generate those experiences in the now. Like I challenge you to even do this in the next week if you can. All right, any other questions on that? It seems like you guys are loving this exercise. It's making me really happy. Whew. All right, what time is it? A few more minutes. Okay. I'm going to quickly run through. I know that a lot of you in here are already on the wait list for it, but I did want to introduce my monthly membership. So everything that I did over the past 3 days now is really like mirroring what my monthly membership looks like. It's called Elevate, and it's kind of like a 4-part framework. So there's going to be a library of breathwork sequences. So they're really categorized by the type being like calming, like what we did today. That's more of a calming or a balancing breathwork technique. So there's calming, there's balancing, and there's energizing. But it's like the tutorial videos, and then as you guys get more comfortable with breath work, I'll be doing like more live sequences too, like combining breath work practices, if that makes sense. But I talk through all of that in the portal of like how to even like create your own breath work practice and like sequence that and whatnot. And then the second part is meditation. So this is anywhere from like 3 minutes to like 20 minutes before bed type of thing. So all different topics on the meditations, like manifestation, relaxing, releasing emotions, loving yourself more, anything that you can think of. I think there's at least 30 meditations in there right now. There's going to be journaling exercises, same thing, like with the time frame. Some are 5 minutes, some are 15 minutes. And this is all kind of like mirroring the journaling exercise that we did yesterday, is really just digging deeper, getting to know yourself. And then on top of that, it's the monthly workshops. So I know a lot of you in here have been to my monthly workshops. There's no way to describe them. Like, it's not even a workshop. I'm not kidding. It's like everything I just talked to on the last slide is this type of stuff that goes down in it. So it's more like practices, and it's just a lot deeper than anything like I talk about, you know, in a post or something like that on Instagram. So it's really a 4-part framework. And then there's community, obviously, when you're in the live workshops, and like accountability is the biggest thing. Because it's like, for me, why I created this is I felt like when I was first starting out, like I'm like, there's so much information. I don't know where to start. I'm so busy. Like, I just need everything in front of me. I would spend like 10 minutes looking for a meditation, and then I'd get 3 minutes into it and be like, I don't like this meditation. Fuck it. I'm going to another meditation. Right. So it's really the accessibility and the accountability, and it's everything that I always wanted when I was starting out. So it's really for the person that is trying to develop more of a daily consistent practice and like needs the support with it. But also for the person that's just like busy. Maybe you're already meditating, but you're like, yeah, I just want everything in one place. So I actually did I have a wait list right now, and it's going to be at $77 per month for the first person, or not the first person. The first 10 people that sign up get it at $77 per month. And then after that, it's increasing to $99. So if you're thinking about it, there's no obligation if you put yourself on the wait list. But I do think that you should do that, just because it's like $300 in savings. So at least like gets you in the know. I'll be sending out an email tomorrow or this weekend exactly on how that works. But then it at least like gets you accessibility to the pricing if you're interested. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. And my vision for it is like, over time, I'm going to keep adding to it. So it's literally going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, it's going to be like a huge, amazing portal, literally, of goodness, that I'm so excited about it. And I did this because I wanted it to also be like very accessible, right? One-on-one coaching is an investment. And 5 years ago, I was maybe not at the path in my journey where I wanted to jump into one-on-one coaching yet, because I still had a lot of fears around failure and money and things like that I was working through. And this is really like a unique offer that I actually haven't seen anywhere else, that I think that like it makes it accessible for where you're at in your journey and allows you to get exposure at more of a reasonable investment for yourself. So I'm really excited about it. As you can tell, I talk about it 24/7. I did a reel on it a couple of days ago that shows you what it looks like, but it's going to be fantastic. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to let me know. I'm so freaking sad that this is the 3rd day. Honestly, like, I had so much fun waking up doing it. I wish I could do it every day. So thanks for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I always appreciate your participation and you showing up on the lives. Like, it literally makes my heart explode. I'm going to start crying. So I'll read this comment before I do. Kristen said, usually just jump on your Insta to find a meditation. Exactly. Yeah. I'm very picky with meditations. So I have really worked hard on the meditations because, I mean, if you're going to, like, it's got to be a magical experience, right? It's hard to meditate at first. So yeah, it'll be good. You are very welcome. Yes. And this will be, it's going to be in my website portal. So come back to it if you want. And if you have friends that are interested, make that or have them sign up for the challenge ASAP. I'm thinking about making it a paid offer on my website in the future. So it'll be good if they get in now, just so they can get it for free, obviously. But thanks for being here. I love you guys all so much. Let me know how you enjoyed this one, and have a beautiful rest of your day, a beautiful weekend. And have fun with these exercises. You'll do amazing. Bye.